All you homeowners have unique needs. Some feel the need to paint their door a vibrant shade of blue. Others have the need to decorate their bathroom with fish, anchors, and other nautical items. And because each homeowner has unique needs, Geico helps you get the right coverage for your home and what's in it. That way, you get exactly what's right for you, even if your needs are unique. Get more with Geico.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to this episode of Real Life, Real Crime, the podcast. As always, I'm your host, Woody Overton. And today, we are continuing the hashtag Justice for Hailey, the series. And I'm going to be playing the rest of the recording between Miss Barbara and Stella and law enforcement. And y'all found out the female that was speaking is doing the majority of the speaking during the recording. That's actually the assistant district attorney. I'd said it wrong. I said she was a detective. Miss Barbara corrected me on that. I didn't know. I don't have any video of it, etc. So that makes it even more important to me that the assistant district attorney, the head prosecutor for murders in Cobb County, is saying, yes, we believe it's a homicide. Yes, we believe it's a homicide. But she didn't have the damage to the back of her tongue. And only in less than 1% of the cases, this pathologist, their guy that they use and they don't want to go against, he said only in less than 1% of the cases was there no damage to the back of the tongue when a shotgun's been placed in the mouth. She had to be passed out. Or, I mean, it is what it is, right? But you'll hear in this one, I'll tell you about it afterwards, but they're very adamant about getting it done. And just stay tuned at the end of this. This one's a little bit long, so I'm not going to talk too much. Stay tuned at the end of it because I'm going to tell you my thoughts on the rest of this recording. And I want to thank all you Patreon and convicts and Apple subscribers for your support. Hope you're enjoying all your bonus episodes and materials and everything else. And we love all lifers. And let's get into the final part of the recording between Miss Barbara and Stella, the district attorney, and the head detective. So you'll find that out in the recording. Let's play it now.
If we get enough people to come forward and say that they had this volatile relationship, that he was abusive and she wasn't, will that help?
It will help. Whether that's enough to get us there is another question, because at the end of the day, they were in this room. And if I'm not mistaken, didn't Mazda have knowledge about her, threatening her life? Am I mistaken in that?
His statement was
that they get heard about it.
She talked about it one time where they got in a fight over the shotgun, and it actually broke the grip of the shotgun during the fight, and he thought Hailey was kind of lying about how it happened because the story didn't really make too much sense. He also said that she made jokes about killing herself, but it was kind of lighthearted. There's no real intent behind it.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, people do that.
And he did too. There was plenty of, his mom had to take away the shotgun one time because
yeah, his mom and Hailey talked many times about taking away his guns, that he didn't even have guns.
Yeah, and I have reason to believe that he was suicidal multiple times from Brooks.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's right. That's what I have.
Don't know the gun that went missing.
Yeah. Well, the shotgun.
Oh, okay.
Did you ever find out about that story?
There is a gun that went missing. Going off jail calls, it looks like it went missing because Brooks took it out to the woods after a fight with Hailey, and I think the implication was he was going to kill himself with it, but he ended up tossing it, and I think police might have been out there because someone might have called, is kind of what it sounds like, and he ran off and they never contacted him. But he hasn't found the gun yet. He still can't find it.
So they haven't found that gun?
No. It's out of the woods somewhere. He saved through it.
It really matters.
And I will tell you, I don't know if I mentioned this already or not, but there was a search on his phone of date rape drugs. Did I mention that?
Yeah.
It did?
Mm-mm.
No, okay. So that's part of why I was hoping we would find something, why we did the poison testing and the expanded toxicology and everything else. Because I thought, well, maybe that's our ticket, right? Is if she had something in her system. They tested for like every single thing in the book, and there's just nothing but THC. And there's nothing, like there is no such thing as a date rape drug that wouldn't show up in the system.
So the fact that he's searching those things and her blood alcohol was so high after, at the bar, from what I understand, she wasn't that messed up.
That's what the waitress said, is that neither one of them appeared very drunk, that they both had 2 drinks, and that after 2 drinks, he was all of a sudden
Right.
belligerent and she still was not.
Right. And so that's what I'm saying, like, I don't see her just going home
like
in the middle of a
pounding, right.
fight and pounding down shots. Like, that's
Right.
just not.
No, I agree, which is why I honestly felt kind of confident there would be something in her system. And it would explain everything. I mean, if she had something in her system that she was passed out, it explains the tongue. It explains, like it would have made this
in the
much more straightforward.
In the searches, were there any drugs that are not able to be detected or anything that?
Not with, when we got the blood and everything. I mean, obviously stuff goes out of your system at a point in time, but nothing goes out of your system after.
No, I mean,
you're deceased.
are there, like, there's some things,
That wouldn't show up?
Yeah.
Mhm. No, because there's even a drug we talked about with Dr. Norman that is like a hormone, I can't remember the name of it, but that can have, a debilitating effect on you, and even that's tested. I mean, I was confident because that search, I was like, it's gotta be in her system. It would have made sense to this whole thing, and it's just not there.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know. I just don't know how this happens. And I don't know what to do with it, but I'm pretty sure if it was your daughter, you'd be able to figure something out, so please do.
And we're trying, I promise you we're trying. I mean, I'm hopeful, that with some of the last things, and I call them last just in terms of what I know right now we want to do, will get us somewhere. But I obviously want to be realistic with you too. I mean, I want you to understand where we're at, and that it's, not for lack of effort. It's this is just one of the most frustrating cases I've ever dealt with, where, we all agree with what happened, but we can't prove it easily, at least.
I mean, would it be better to just keep getting circumstantial evidence and go with that, as opposed to not even trying him at all?
So when we get to a point where we truly think there's no additional evidence to be found, we will sit down and really map out whether it's even ethical for me to bring forth charges. I can't ethically, I'm not allowed to bring forth charges that I don't have evidence to support. And so, we can absolutely have that conversation. I'm not ready to have that conversation because I don't feel like we're at that point. I'm not giving up right now.
Like Stephanie said, if we go to court right now and go to PC with what we have, and the judge looks at it and it's like, this is just circumstantial, we don't have any evidence I can really hang this on, I'm not getting probable cause for this. It's over at that point. So we want a strong case to come into the court with.
I mean,
I don't want to, harm ourselves being premature, especially when there are things we still want to do, right? And then that backfire to where,
Well, I'm just saying, if nothing else comes forward except for, horror stories or whatever, people. I mean, if I was sitting on a jury and I saw all this, I would certainly think that he's guilty. It either has to be that he did it or she did it. And if you look at the picture,
we've had those conversations. I think
The jury is
here's the thing. Do I think a jury would at least think he's guilty? Yes, I do. Would they convict? I don't know.
Because you're
Because it's
asking,
very different, right? I mean,
I
it's,
mean, look,
and-
I understand it's not a guarantee,
sure,
but it's better than nothing.
sure.
you're asking them to put someone away for 20 years and they might
Life it out.
not
I
be,
mean,
yeah, they might not be entirely sure that he actually did it, even though he's.
They may not be, but they may be. And I mean, it's better, to me, it would be better to try than just not try at all. If it gets to the point where there's nothing else.
Sure.
We're worried about bringing
Let's-
it forward at the right
yeah.
time, is the thing.
We get one shot at this.
right.
I'd
That's
rather-
it.
No, I'd rather wait till then.
We get one
No,
shot.
no, I understand.
And if we
What I'm
mess it
saying-
up, that's it. We'll
Right.
never go back. We can't,
Right.
legally.
But what I'm saying is, at some point, if you realize we don't have anything else, we can't get anything else, this is what we have.
And that's when we'll have that conversation when we get there. I don't feel like we're there yet. We'll have that conversation because there's 100 things from there that we can talk about. It might be something that, ultimately we are able to get enough to charge him, but we don't feel great about the case still. It might be something that we end up having to plead down so that he's not serving life without parole, but he's serving, 15 years or 20 years because it's the best we can do where we at least know he's being held accountable to some degree, even though it's not what we really want, right? And have those difficult conversations. But again, I'm not there yet. Okay, because I promise you, we have not given up on this. We're not just throwing our hands up and saying, oh, well, this is hard until we're done.
But if I talk to reporters to get more information, will that hurt the case in any way? Okay.
Not at this point.
Not at this point.
But
And if there's anything else too, like in terms of y'all just like think of something in the middle of the night of like, oh my gosh, have you talked to so-and-so? Or, have you looked at whatever website? Whatever, right? Like, tell us.
I try, but I just don't, we've had, I've talked to people at the apartment complex that said that, nobody's talked to them yet, and there's like, I don't know. I don't know what to do, and I don't know, I guess what my limitations are. Can I go talk to people at the apartment complex myself? Can I,
There's nothing we can stop you from doing. You can do whatever you want, obviously. Be smart about it, right? So if you're going to talk to people, take notes or, write down people's contact information because we don't want it to be something where you're like, oh my gosh, I got this amazing piece of information, but I don't know who I talked to or when it was because there's so many people and it all starts kind of like meshing in your head. So definitely, be sure you're keeping track of everything that you do so that we have a record of everything.
but if you were me, you just don't have any more information, like any more suggestions of things that you would do if you were me. And I don't mean from,
No, I know, not from a law enforcement perspective, from another perspective. I would probably, point out, like talking to the department people again. I'd probably do that. I would talk to anyone I could if it was me. Whether it will get us anywhere, I don't know, but I'm the same way as you. You'd rather try than do nothing, right? You at least feel somewhat productive trying something than sitting back and doing nothing.
well, I'm gonna try to talk to him first before I do that, because once he knows that we're not on his side, which he probably does, but I don't know that I'll get anything else except lies, but I don't see how that's not helpful. And it just, it's really hard because I'm gonna sleep right now about my daughter, and I shouldn't have to do all this. I shouldn't have to talk to the man that killed her, and I shouldn't have to do all this, and I don't understand why it's so hard.
Completely agree.
And, there's, it just seems like there's more people that could be talked to, more things could be done. I don't have to do, but I'll do it. So.
Well, I mean, again, we will talk to people and we will do all of that. I'm not trying to put the burden on you, but I understand as a mother, it's very difficult to just sit there, and it feels like every day, it's 10 years that you're just sitting. So I get. So don't take this as anything, any form of burden on you or telling you to go talk to anyone.
Oh,
you don't have to.
I do have to. And we have to worry every night because he's not stable, and I don't feel safe because he decides.
No, what if he decides to just go back with them?
Well, his mom has guns. And how is that even legal? Like,
Because he's not convicted. He's been charged with felony, but he's not convicted.
I thought when he was younger, he had
He
felonies.
could get shot in the face.
Yeah, I mean, don't do anything that's going to put yourself in harm's way.
I mean, at this point, I have to. So did he have felonies when he was younger?
I can pull up at least some things from my phone. I don't think he's convicted felon, was he?
No.
You're juvenile.
I didn't think so. It might have been from
Did
when he was a
his-
juvenile.
Did his parole officer get hit by a car?
I have no idea.
Parole officer.
Or probation officer, or when he was younger? He and his mom both told that story to Hailey that,
Really probably too.
yeah, that they insinuate that she had something to do with that. And I don't believe that, but I don't know.
That Hailey did?
No, with the mom.
Oh, you said it, she, and I was like, what? Yeah, so everything has been when he was a juvenile.
And no felonies?
Well,
Or does it matter?
Yeah, it doesn't matter when you're a juvenile.
State of Georgia doesn't see an act that would be a felony as an adult, a felony as a child. They see it as a delinquent act. And therefore, that's how it's reported. So all those acts that whatever he may have done as a juvenile, it has no bearing on him as an adult.
That's ridiculous. You can be 17 and commit a major felony.
Well,
Well,
then-
17 is
then
an
you're
adult in the
charged,
state of
yeah.
Or
Georgia.
16.
Yeah, 16, you could, unless he commits one of the 7 deadlies and
Well,
it's,
all of this is misdemeanor anyway.
Right.
Everything in his juvenile history, it's a lie, but it's all misdemeanor.
so the state doesn't see it any other way.
Yeah, you're charged as an adult for the serious violent felonies. So even if you're 15, you'd be charged as an adult. So,
Does this the talk that's like for something?
Well,
No, it's not the talk, it's not what we've been talking about.
she's saying that they're going to do these other things, and then we'll have that conversation. Well, it doesn't feel good if I agree. Definitely agree.
but, I like to be, I don't want to sit here and give you false hope. I rather, be very direct and blunt with you and hope for the best than sit here and promise you the best and not be able to deliver. So, that's just how I always function. Because the last thing I ever want to do is a family that's hurting this bad try to give them some sort of false hope. Because I don't think that's fair.
Genetics can be beautiful. Maybe you got your mom's eyes or her great skin. But genetics can also be a nightmare. I hear friends say, I got my mom's belly and love handles. Don't let genetics be the thing that holds you back from getting the body you deserve. Check out the Permanent Solutions by Sano Bello. Our friends at Sano Bello are offering you their best deal. You're now included in their winter savings event, but appointments are limited. So please make your appointment today. Sano Bello doctors are masters in micro laser fat removal. What is micro fat laser removal? Micro laser fat removal is a brilliant technique that removes stubborn fat permanently. Tummy, love handles, thighs, arms, wherever your problem areas are, the fat is gone in one comfortable visit. Eating healthy and workouts are great. keep doing that. But if you want to lose that stubborn fat in one visit, check out Sano Bello. Save big during their winter savings event. Schedule your free consultation now at sonobello.com/RLRC. That's SONOBELLO.com/RLRC.
This episode is sponsored by MIDI Health.
MIDI Health is here to change the way women experience menopause care. As a husband, I've seen my wife Cindy navigate the challenges of menopause, and it hasn't been easy. Keeping up with her symptoms while feeling dismissed by traditional healthcare providers was tough for her. It was disheartening to hear the doctors say it was all in her head, or to just focus on diet and exercise. I learned that many healthcare providers lack training in menopause, which is shocking. 80% of OBGYNs report they are untrained in this critical area, and 75% feel uncomfortable discussing it with their patients. Thank goodness Cindy found MIDI. MIDI is a virtual care clinic dedicated to truly seeing, hearing, and understanding women's experiences. It was created by women for women, and they accept insurance in all 50 states. Getting started is simple. She visited www.trymidi.com/real, set up her account, and entered her insurance information and shared her symptoms. She was able to choose a convenient time to meet her clinician. During the virtual visit, she discussed her symptoms and health history in detail with a nurse practitioner trained in perimenopause, menopause, and weight management. If she needs any tests like blood work or imaging, they help coordinate it with a local facility that accepts her insurance. It's as easy as 1, 2, 3. Now she can follow her treatment plan and schedule follow-up visits. MIDI even collaborates with her other doctors for in-person treatment if necessary. Best of all, there are no hidden costs, no membership fees, and MIDI bills your insurance directly. MIDI also offers fantastic products including compound semaglutide and estriol face cream, which Cindy loves. This prescription skincare product is designed to improve skin elasticity, hydration, and texture, addressing those frustrating changes related to estrogen decline. So if you're ready to take charge of your midlife health, go to www.trymidi.com/real. That's www.trymidi.com/real to schedule a virtual visit. Join more than 200,000 women who love and trust MIDI for their midlife care. Y'all use my code SAFE15 to get $15 off your first RX product when you book your visit.
But again, whatever, we're not done. We understand that we're not done. You know, it felt like a major blow getting that toxicology blood alcohol back. A major blow because it was very unexpected.
We expected to see something else.
Mm-hmm.
We expected to see something to explain this,
Right.
and we didn't see it.
I mean, I was in trial for 2.5 weeks, and every morning the first thing I did was look up GBI's website and look up the case. Every morning. Because I was sure that it was going to be something helpful. Something that would have made this very simple. And it just wasn't.
Do they still, like, if something else came to mind or something else came up, could they still do they still have blood to test?
Absolutely. Yep.
There's no other marks on her or anything.
I mean, I can't stress to y'all enough that looking through this whole case, I mean, that to me it's just, I mean, there's no explanation. I mean, there really is no explanation other than the homicide.
Well, I know for a fact that Hailey didn't do that. I know she didn't.
Mm-hmm.
The day before Christmas, she was the happiest I've seen her in my life. So I know that she did not do this. And, you know, we had plans, and she talked about the things we were going to do. And she was in.
What was I mean, I imagine y'all have seen her drunk before.
Yeah.
Yeah. What is the most you've seen her drink?
I mean, I didn't see her actually drink. I've just seen her after she was drinking.
Yeah. Bella, what about you?
downstairs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like how much is the most you've seen her
She
drink?
can down, I mean, like, I've seen her drink like at least like this much of like a bottle of Jameson.
Okay.
She can, you know,
That's
she's a
good.
good drunk.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because that's really only because she wasn't into drinking before he came around.
Yeah.
She hadn't been drinking very long, you know, so.
Gotcha.
And she's very honest about everything that she did. So that, she didn't hide, you know, she told me what she did. Okay, well,
So I can touch base with you on Wednesday. I think Wednesday's the day I have that meeting. Set up with Dr. Gulledge and give you an update then. We'll try to figure out an expert in terms of, you know, kind of like reconstruction.
when do you think I'll
I'm gonna make a phone call on that and see.
Yeah. Do the same. So we'll just keep you up to date on all that. And I mean, anything else you know, please, you know, share that.
I just, we will, and I just, I don't know how this happens. It's almost, you know, everything just goes on. There's not even been an hour, like an article about my daughter is going, and it's, I know they are trying, and I know that they're working, but please, 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 you know, it's just, it's not right. It's not okay, and I mean, Hailey needs justice. She's a very good person. I guess, I don't guess you can help me figure out what to ask him.
Yeah, so the issue is we can't make you a state actor. And, you know, I have to be careful on all this because ultimately what matters is what can we present in court. And if there's something that we do wrong, it can't be used in court and it's worthless anyways. You know, you do what you feel like you need to do is all I can really say.
Are we allowed to have like documents, or like the papers and stuff and evidence to be allowed to know?
So we can't give, you know, the police reports and everything like that, or interviews or anything at this point. I don't mind sharing it with you with like toxicology and blood alcohol, but I don't know.
What did he say in the group when they investigated him?
He said no gun went off ever. He said that, he said they woke up, watched TV and TikToks, they showered, that was it. Denies talking to anyone that night, denies anyone coming over, denies anyone knocking on the door. Says they had a 10-minute argument about bills, and after that, I guess that is when you all showed up. He denies going to the neighbor. I mean, this is what I tell you when I say lies, like a lot of lies. He claims that, you know, officers spoke to both him and Hailey, which obviously makes no sense. He said that he was by the front door when officers arrived. Hailey was standing in the hallway when officers arrived. Obviously, that's wrong. Said he only had a beer or two. We obviously know that's wrong. Denied smoking weed. We can assume that's wrong. That Hailey was screaming at him, hitting him. Brooks was like, "What do you need?" She came at him, fell, busted her lip open, which is obviously all lies.
Did she have a busted lip?
He was trying to account for the blood. I mean, it's absurd. He talks about the shotgun, that he says Hailey's never shot guns before, but she knows how to pull the little tab in and shuck it, but that's all she knows. Denies going to the neighbor's house. Again, talks about the busted lip. Says he drank 1 Guinness beer, hasn't smoked marijuana in 2 weeks. said he's not under the influence, even though he would have been like a 2.225 at this point.
So when he was talking to me, when we went to the jail, I said, I don't even understand how he would do that. Like, I don't even understand how it's possible. And he very quickly came up with the scenario of how she could have done it, which makes me think that he knew how to make it look like she did.
Right. No, I have notes from that jail call. We've listed everything. So that's what I'm telling you, is like when, it is abundantly clear that he's lying, and that's kind of like our best evidence. I mean, that's what's frustrating. And again, if it was a situation where it's like he's lying and the medical examiner can definitively say it's a homicide, like that puts us in a different position. But when the starting point with Dr. Gullidge is like, this is more than likely a suicide, but maybe could possibly be a homicide. I mean, that was tough. Now,
Is
I
he
think
normally this wrong?
But I will say, I mean, when we question further and everything, he's like, generally when you see this trajectory, when you don't see the trauma to the tongue, so he was talking more as in like just looking at the body in a vacuum, right? That all signs point to suicide. But of course he was open to, going through the case with us, so it's not like he was completely closed-minded to, further investigating and taking into consideration all the facts and circumstances in this investigation. But his starting point just based on the autopsy itself. So, and that's what makes this so tough, and it shouldn't be. I mean, it really shouldn't be this hard.
But I mean, with him seeing the evidence, is he normally this wrong?
So since I've shared with him everything, we have not sat down in person. So I shared this with him, I want to say like right at the start of the trial maybe. And then I got the blood alcohol and toxicology back on Monday. We exchanged a couple of emails about that. And then we set the meeting up. So I don't know where he stands today.
Can you talk to him tomorrow?
Wednesday is when I have my meeting with him. Let me double check that. It's on my calendar. Yes, Wednesday at 2:30. So.
All right. Thank you.
I'll be in touch.
Yeah, I'll get you out of here.
And anything that you find out, can you please call me just so I know? Just everything, even a little thing. Because I just need to know. Thank you.
We're going to take the elevator up. We aren't done with this. We are not done with this. I know it feels like it. We're not. But I will tell you my fear. If we mess this up, we will never get there. And so, as the division commander, I'm hoping that I'm accountable to the work that you're doing all the way up. And making sure that they get it right, because if they don't, I know the consequences of it. I've been here before. So,
I know, I just... If it was yours, like, I'm just saying, you... It
I'm
can't be
sorry.
as easy to get away with.
I'm this guy, if this is okay. It's not gonna, I don't have an answer for you. Not the one that I want, the one that you want. I don't. I want it bad. Because we know, we sit downstairs, we talk about this, we look at this case, and it's like, I'll be damned if we're gonna let this, pardon me, I get a little, I've been doing this too long. Things like this frustrate me. I'll be damned if I'm gonna let this guy get away. Don't know how it's gonna happen yet. I know what it's gonna look like. There's something there that is gonna happen. And we're gonna go, that's it. I don't know what it is. I don't know when it is. And I just know that it's there. I feel it. I know Stephanie for a long time. She's not where she is by chance. She's a bulldog. She sees the red meat, she's gonna go for it. But we also understand the game we're playing and the circumstances we're playing in. We know what the pool really looks like. Cobb County used to be a little bit different several years ago. It was a little bit easier to take these cases and move them through, on more circumstantial evidence. Nowadays, if there's not a video from 12 different angles, it didn't happen. Even if there is, well, I don't know that that's true. I believe that. So we know what the burden of proof is legally, and we know what things look like in front of a jury. And there is not a scenario that I'm willing to accept from my people that has us going up there and screwing that up for your sake and for your daughter's sake, for your sake as her sister. There's not a scenario there that I'm willing to accept. So am I willing to go a little slower and to let time be a burden on our shoulders? Yeah, I am, to get to where I need to get. I'm willing to accept that as opposed to never getting there. I can't fathom that. Detective Nudy's a solid detective. Sergeant Arrowwood, who was sitting in there with him, is a solid supervisor, former detective, 20 plus years in the job. Detective Foster, Sergeant Foster, who's my executive officer in our division, has got more time doing detective work than most people have alive on the planet. I mean, the guy has been around. We joke at him, he's been around forever. He's ancient, but he knows the game, and we're all in the same place. We know he did it. I gotta have it in my hand where I can take it and I can go right in front of the jury and I can say, see it, smell it, taste it, feel it. It happened. It is. And I can see it, and I'm there, but I know they're not there. And I know what the legal burden of proof is. And I will not let them, and I will not be party to them taking a case that is not ready to be won for your sake and the sake of your daughter. I won't let them take it forward because I know that we get one shot, and if we miss it, that's it. Forever, it is gone. I would rather them go, you know what, I don't have it today. I can't win today, but I can win tomorrow, and I'm going to get there. Then go, you know what, this is what I got, here you go, boom, and we lose it. I can't do that. Because whatever happens after that just gets washed away, as if it doesn't matter at that point, because the jury has come back and said, we find that there's reasonable doubt here that we cannot convict. O.J. Simpson's walking around. O.J. Simpson was guilty as sin. LAPD screwed that case up, and they made some terrible errors. They had terrible people working it. And O.J. Simpson walks around and he killed 2 people. I was living in California at the time. I was working at the time. I know what that case was. I will not be a party to that. And I'm sorry. I don't mean to cause you burden. I don't mean to see you hurt. It hurts me. I'm a father. I have a daughter that's 24 years old that is the love of my life. And I don't want to see that.
What you don't know about Hailey,
Tell me.
I got sick in 2016. She was a happy Walton High School girl. She had friends. She stopped to help get better and to help take care of me. She started online schooling to be able to help me. She suffered, and so did Stella. I was so sick I couldn't even lift my head up. It fell over. And because of her, I'm at least functioning today. They took care of me. And Hailey did all that just because that's what kind of person she was. She helped everybody, and she went out of her way to help Brooks get over his bad childhood and the crap that happened to him when he was young. She did everything she could.
Did not deserve this.
And she had such a hard time, and she was having such a hard time, like trying to pay all the bills and do everything for them.
We're going to get
She just deserved to have a good life.
We're going to get him. I just don't know what it looks like yet.
Please. Like, I can't.
I know. We're not, I swear to you, we are not giving this case up. They are not giving this case up. I'm not going to let them, and they wouldn't do it anyway. I know it seems, you're looking at all of these pieces of this puzzle and you say, well, it makes sense to you. And it makes sense to me, and it makes sense to you, and it makes sense to them. But I take that guy standing right there, knows nothing about this, and I explained all this to him. Does it make sense to him?
Are you ready to optimize your nutrition this year? Look no further than Factor. Factor offers chef-made gourmet meals that are dietitian approved and can be heated and enjoyed in just 2 minutes. Perfect for fueling your body and feeling great, no matter what life throws your way. Factor makes it easy to eat well and stick to your nutritional goals. Factor delivers fresh, fully prepared meals right to your doorstep, making it ideal for anyone with an active, busy lifestyle like my family. Are you looking to shed a few pounds? With Factor, you can lose up to 8 pounds in 8 weeks with Factor Keto Meals. This is based on a randomized controlled clinical trial with Factor Keto, although results will vary depending on individual diet and exercise. With 40 options across 8 dietary preferences on the menu each week, it's simple to find meals tailored to your specific goals. You can choose preferences like Calorie Smart, Protein Plus, or Keto, ensuring there's something for everyone. Factor helps me feel my best all day long, and it can help you too. Factor offers wholesome smoothies, delicious breakfasts, grab-and-go snacks, and so much more. Their variety makes it easy to stick to your nutrition goals without feeling deprived. Factor takes the stress out of meal planning and helps my family stay on track with our health goals, making healthy eating not just achievable, but enjoyable. Recently, I had Factor's mushroom chicken thighs and wild rice. Imagine tender, juicy chicken thighs, perfectly seared and sauteed to golden perfection. Factor's mushroom chicken thighs and wild rice dish brings together rich, earthy flavors that will satisfy your cravings and leave your taste buds dancing with delight. This gourmet meal features succulent chicken thighs paired with a savory mushroom sauce that's bursting with goodness. It's complemented by a hearty serving of fluffy wild rice, expertly seasoned to enhance the flavors of chicken. Each bite is a harmonious blend of textures, tender meat, creamy mushrooms, and wholesome grains. Ready in just 2 minutes, this dish is not only easy to prepare, but also nourishing, providing you with the fuel you need to tackle your day. Whether you're a busy professional, a parent on the go, or just someone who appreciates a home-cooked meal without the hassle, Factor guarantees convenience and taste. So why wait? Treat yourself to a culinary delight with Factor's mushroom chicken thighs and wild rice, the perfect balance of flavor, nutrition, and simplicity. Eat smart with Factor. Get started at factormeals.com/RLRC50off and use code RLRC50off to get 50% off your first box plus free shipping. That's code RLRC50off at factormeals.com/RLRC50off to get 50% off plus free shipping on your first box.
All you homeowners have unique needs. Some feel the need to paint their door a vibrant shade of blue. Others have the need to decorate their bathroom with fish, anchors, and other nautical items. And because each homeowner has unique needs, Geico helps you get the right coverage for your home and what's in it. That way, you get exactly what's right for you, even if your needs are unique. Get more with Geico.
And and then somebody gets to come after me after I've said all that and get to call me a liar and tell these people about all the mistakes we made, everything we did wrong, and how horrible it was, and how wonderful of a guy this was, and this guy is, and then this guy has to determine which of that he believes. And I've been there before. I've sat in many, many trials. I've been presented many, many investigations. I know what that looks like, and I go back to what I said earlier. We screw this up now. Hailey never gets the justice she deserves, and you never get the closure that you so desperately need. That is righteously yours. And I don't use that term lightly. So,
You deserve that.
you do deserve that. You deserve righteous justice. And righteous justice. So we're going to get there. I don't know what I know in my mind. I can see it. It's somewhat nebulous. And I just don't know what it is that's going to take us to that spot. I know it's there. I feel it. But I just don't know what there is yet. We aren't giving up. Could we have done some things a little bit better? Could we have done things a little bit quicker? I'm not going to say that we couldn't have. Every time we do these cases, something comes out that we learn from and say, you know what, we should have done that. You know, that's every case. So we're going to go back and redo some things. We're going to double check our work. After you vote, we're going to double check our work. I've actually gone through the case file now. This will be my second time doing it. I've got somebody from outside that has clearance kind of looking at it to see where we may have missed something. And then we're going to go back and redo the things that we think we could have done better. And we're going to find out whatever it was. And we'll see if something pops on that. And when we get there, I guarantee you I will call you. I guarantee you.
Sorry, yeah.
That's okay. We're allowed for you. Is there anything else I can do for you today?
Just please,
We are.
whatever.
I give you my word.
I don't even know who to talk to that can help me figure out what I need to do or what, like, you know, I don't want to hurt the case.
I don't know. Initially we talked, I cautioned you against the media. They're self-serving, they're going to do whatever they're going to do. At this point, I don't know that it will hurt or help. If it will hurt or help at all, even if they'll be interested. I don't know. I
have two reporters that are just waiting to get her story, but I don't want to, you know, that, like I said, I've waited and I've been patient because
throw it out there and see what happens. I mean, at this point in time, there are things that would have hurt us early that aren't necessarily going to hurt us now. So throw it out there and see what happens. Would it be helpful for you? You have next Friday. So you're going to talk to Stephanie probably Wednesday or Thursday. If on a Friday, every Friday before the end of the work week, I call you up and let you know where things are, even if I don't have anything to say.
yes.
Okay. Then I will do that. I will put that on my calendar to make sure that before I'm done on Friday that I give you a call and let you know, even if it's just to check in with you. Because sometimes, you know, interesting thing with cases like these, at the beginning they're 1,000 miles an hour, and everything slows down to a snail's pace. And then something happens and it's 1,000 miles an hour again, and then it slows down to a snail's pace again. And it follows that pattern until we get to the end. So even if it's just nothing to say other than, how are you doing?
So
I'll
is
call
he
you
being
up.
monitored or anything? I know he's on bond. Is he-
So the courts are monitoring, to the extent of the monitoring, I don't know, but I will try to find out.
And
Because that's outside our purview. I don't have any control over the more than what the courts do.
right.
And I will try to find out what his next court dates are and what have you as well.
Is there anything that, in the charges that he already has, when he goes to trial for those?
Well, they're felony charges. So now the question is going to become, is he going to be able to get a conviction? We have, those are strong cases. So then now is the question of what is the judge going to do based upon that? Because there's sentencing guidelines that the judge has to follow, the judge made. In today's day and age with COVID and all that, you know, yeah. So right now the Cobb County Judicial Circuit is backed up conservatively by a year. They lost so much time because they couldn't go to court. So I don't know when he's...
Is there anything, if I talk to the media, that I shouldn't say?
At this point, I can't think of anything.
So it's okay to say that we believe that she was murdered?
It's fine.
Okay.
Is it okay to put his face out there?
Be careful with that. I mean, the reason I would say that is this. Be careful with... You don't want to get yourself into a civil liability situation. I'm not a civil attorney. I can't even begin to advise you the best course of action on that. But be careful what kind of accusations you make on somebody, because then you will end up in libel and slander damages. They may be true, but if you can't 100% prove it, then he can come back and file a lawsuit against you.
We can say that we believe he did that.
You can say that, they were together. We think that he may have done it. You got to be careful saying. I mean, I can't really advise you on that. You're going to have to actually grab somebody who's a little bit smarter than I am. But I'll call you every Friday.
Thank you.
I will call you every Friday.
Please.
Yes, ma'am.
Please. Anything that you can do, please.
We will. I give you my word.
Thank you.
All right. Y'all take care now.
Thank you.
Did you want to stop the tape recording?
Okay, so they're very adamant about, yes, we believe, we believe he did this. And she even lists some of the discrepancies that Brooks Cleary has made in his statements, which talks about the autopsy, like being in a vacuum when the pathologist did not have any of the information. That's all he had to go off of was her body, Hailey's body. Then that's the only determination he can make. I'm not trying to throw shade, but that autopsy should have not happened without them giving him the information about the case. Otherwise, he can't make a proper decision. And that's why he changes it later from suicide to undetermined, right? Because now he's been presented with all this other information. Other things I want to talk about real quick. Them saying the detective, I'm assuming it's the detective, one of the male voices in the room saying, well, we only get one shot at this. If we bring it before a judge and he says there's no probable cause, we're done. That's not true. That's not true. First of all, you wouldn't bring it before a judge on this case. You take it to the grand jury. That's all Miss Barbara wants. And you can hear it on this audio. She's like, it's, circumstantial, but I would rather you do this and lose than nothing be done at all. Right. And so it's not true that it would be over with if you took for a judge and you said there's no probable cause, but you don't even have to do that on a case like this. You're going to take it before the grand jury. Let the grand jury present everything. Let the grand jury make the decision of whether or not there's enough evidence to move forward for trial. And at one point, the detective says, well, if I just get this guy over here and I don't know him and I tell him the facts of this case, what's he going to say? Well, he may say, yeah, there's enough to move forward, but then you get it before a jury and the jury may think that he's guilty, but the defense is going to get up and say what they're going to say and they may not believe us. Well, okay. That's why it's trial. Fuck. I mean, such an overwhelming amount of evidence, and you hear them say, oh, we're not giving up. And the guy, I guess they were on the elevator or whatever, the head detective's walking him out. He's explaining all his detectives and how great they are and how many years experience, and they all think it's a murder. And we're going to get there. I don't know how yet, but we're going to get there and blah, 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 right? Telling the family exactly what they want to hear. And I'm not throwing shade on them. We're going to talk next week about what was done after this meeting. Probably going to have Miss Barbara on, and we'll talk about that. And then I'll tell you what actually happened in this case. And yes, Brooks Cleary is in prison right now, and I'll explain that to you. But it's not for the murder of Hailey. It's not for murdering her. And it just blows my mind. At a certain point, especially when you hear what else happens. I mean, basically, they presented a whole murder trial without it being a murder trial. And guess what? The jury found him guilty. So, we're going to get into it next week. We'll start into the rest of it. But it just, even they say, Hailey needs justice. Right? And so, I don't know, y'all. It's really powerful. Stick with us. And after we get through what happens next, then we're going to do the call to action. And all Miss Stella wants is that, look, they can take it to the grand jury and tank it. Nobody knows. Nobody's going to be in the room. It's a secret meeting, right, of the grand jury. But give Hailey her shot. And then if we don't win, okay. Then, but guess what? If you take it to the grand jury and the grand jury says no bill, it's still not over with. It doesn't mean you can't ever take it to trial. You can always get more evidence and go back to the grand jury and present it again. There's no statute of limitations on murder. So that's not true that it's over with if they don't come back and indict him. you always have the option of getting more evidence. The grand jury say, hey, we need more evidence. Okay, great. And if you go get it, go get it. If you can't, then so be it, you know. But I think that they know it's a homicide. We know it's a homicide, or we believe it's a homicide, and you know, sometimes you got to roll the dice, and if all the family is asking for you to do is to present it and let the jury make the decision. You heard Miss Barber say, hey, if I was on the jury, you know, I mean, fuck, if I was on the jury, Woody Overton was on the jury, then he definitely would be guilty of the murder of Hailey. So hashtag Just Hailey, and thank you for listening. Love all of y'all, and just hang in there, people. And I believe we can get this done, all of us together. So LOPA, Louisiana Organ Procurement Agency, you know, it's my jam. They save lives every day. Be an organ donor, y'all. Take a second to sign up. LOPA is a nonprofit. That's why I support them and try to get the awareness out about them. Again, I've sat with so many people that are alive today because other people unselfishly donated their organs. And so you don't have to be a lifer from Louisiana to sign up to be an organ donor. You can be a lifer from Tuscaloosa, Alabama. Just go to lopa.org, take 2 minutes, fill out the questionnaire, and they will help you become an organ donor. And I'm Woody Overton, your host of Real Life, Real Crime, the podcast. Until next time or ever, don't let me catch you down on Murder Bayou. Peace.
All you homeowners have unique needs. Some feel the need to paint their door a vibrant shade of blue. Others have the need to decorate their bathroom with fish, anchors, and other nautical items. And because each homeowner has unique needs, Geico helps you get the right coverage for your home and what's in it. That way, you get exactly what's right for you, even if your needs are unique. Get more with Geico.